Hey, y'all. Yeah, I do got a black eye. Appreciate you picking up on that there. Look, I did it to myself yesterday morning, okay? Look, a whole lot of y'all don't know this about me, but I'm blind. Like, for real. Like, I'm deaf in one eye and can't see out the other one, all right? I've got this thing called the retinitis pigmentosus is what it is. And anyway, so I was out picking up a bunch of debris, some scrap wood, because I was working on some cabinets, and I went to bend over to pick up a piece of wood and didn't see a piece of plywood sticking up right there in front of my face, and just slammed my face right against the corner of it. Almost got me right in the eyeball. Ain't like I was using it for nothing, but I mean, anyway, it hurt, all right? It hurt. No, my wife didn't punch me in the eye. That ain't what happened, all right? I'm defending on her. No, she didn't do it, y'all. It was definitely a piece of plywood, what it was, but it did it, y'all. And yeah, I do. I work on cabinets and stuff like that, y'all. I can't make myself stop doing stuff because I can't see. I mean, you got to keep doing it. The trick to it, you got to feel for that blade is what you do. You feel for the blade. When you're on a table saw, you feel for it is what you do, and then try not to cut your fingers off. That's how you do it. I mean, it ain't really like no science to it. I don't recommend on it. Don't blindfold yourself up and go out there and try to run no table saw, all right? Don't do that. I'm just saying that's the way I do it, all right? And look, I still have all my fingers for now, all right? I still ain't done yet. So anyway, that's what happened to me, y'all. I slammed my face against the corner of a piece of plywood, all right? And I ain't proud of it. But anyway, look, Team Taco, look, y'all are being lied to and played again. And I know it happens to you all the time, but I have to keep pointing it out to you because you keep embarrassing yourself. And look, Krasnow's trying to play everybody, but smart people ain't buying it, all right? And he already said smart people don't like him, and that means smart people ain't buying his bullcrap either, all right? That's the reason why smart people don't like him. But anyway, he's trying some crazy stuff on everybody, talking about doing his 180 and coming out and saying that everybody should vote for the Epstein files to be released. He don't mean it. That's the thing. He don't mean it. And I don't think that most of those Republicans that have magically decided they're going to sign on to it, they don't mean it either. It's all smoke and mirrors is what it is. See, because they've got constituencies out there that's real upset because Krasnov lied to them about releasing the Epstein files, played all of them throughout the whole campaign. I mean, literally ran his campaign on releasing the Epstein files just to turn around and say he wasn't going to do it to them. He wasn't going to do it for them. And plus all these people that went out there and they paid a bunch of right-wing podcasters and all that to do nothing but talk about Epstein files, to make people think that it wasn't nothing but a bunch of democrats and Hollywood elites up in there, the global cabals and all. Turns out it's the Trump files is what it is. The Trumpstein files is what it is. And so anyway, it's just smoke and mirrors because they can look like they're interested in getting the files released. And then Krasnov can turn around and say, look, we can't do it because I ordered a fake investigation into nothing but a bunch of Democrats in there, even though my own Department of Justice back in July said that there was nothing else to see here, that the case was closed, that thing had been thoroughly investigated and there was nobody else of interest in there at all. It's in a Department of Justice memo that you can look up yourself there, Team Taco. Sure is. And then Pam Blondie, she went in front of Congress and just lied her ass off there in front of her. She's going to go to prison one day. Did y'all know that? The Attorney General is going to wind up behind bars one day when we have a legitimate government back in place. That Cash Patel might find himself in prison too, along with Steve Bannon, along with the Steve Bannons and a bunch of other people, whole bunch of other people. But see, that's all just smoke and mirrors is what it is. That way that Donald F. and Trump can turn around and say, well, I know that a bunch of people voted for it and all, but we just can't do it. As bigly as I want to release the files, we just can't because, look, it's under investigation. It's under an active investigation, which means we can't release them, okay? When the investigation's done, then we can release them. That's what Krasnov was going to do. And he you know why he's doing that? For you, Team Taco. That way you can go out there and repeat that message, make you feel all warm and tingly inside because you're guarding up on some pedophiles. Knowing you are, but he gave you an excuse on how you're supposed to follow through with it. That's what it is. But, look, I wanted to tell you something else there, Team Taco, and it's going to hurt your feelings a little bit, but those emails and stuff that's come out of the Jeffrey Epstein estate, they've kind of exposed a lot of stuff. That Steve Bannon said the other day, told a bunch of people that they were going to go to prison if they didn't win the 2026 and the 2028 midterms. And he said himself included. And you can tell by the way that it is that he's right. Yeah, because the thing is, those emails show that there's been some colluding going on there. There was some colluding going on with the Steve Bannons and the Daddy Vladdies over there in the Rushes. Yeah, obviously there was, you know. But here's the thing, though, Team Taco, you fake-ass patriots, is the thing is, do you know who else Jeffrey Epstein was screwing? You. Yeah, MAGA. Yeah. All of y'all. He's the one that come up with this idea of the nationalism, the red, white, and blue it all up, you know, play on people's xenophobias, you know, their fear of immigrants, play on the whole immigration thing and people's racisms and their homophobias and their religious point of view, all of it. Just use all of it and just rile people up. That was Epstein's idea. Between him and Steve Bannon, right. So MAGA is literally Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon's butt baby. That's what MAGA is. It's Epstein's butt baby, and that's all it is. And it shows up in those emails, see, because Steve Bannon was going all over the world trying to gin up this right-wing populism and stuff all over the place, and he did it right here in America on y'all. Yep, exploited all of you, manipulated all of you, and anyway, so, you know, that email there where Mark Epstein writes to his brother Jeffrey and says, ask Bannon if Putin has the pictures of Trump blowing Bubba. You know, I know it still stings every time you hear that. Like I said, blow on it. Blow on it. It'll go away in a minute. Now look, I know y'all are saying, well, that ain't Bill Clinton. That ain't the Bubba. It's another dude named Bubba. I'm cool with that. Yeah, it might be some other dude named Bubba. Could be. Might not be Bill Clinton. Some other dude named Bubba. Could be. But then, on the other hand, it gets more confusing because that Ghislaine Maxwell, she had a horse named Bubba. You know, so which one is it? I mean, my lordy, which one is it? Was it the Bill Clinton Bubba, some other dude named Bubba, or the horse? Y'all, which one was it? It's one of the three. So, anyway, that's pretty revealing if you think about it, that he was asking if Bannon knows if Putin has the pictures, which means that Bannon's been talking to Putin. Huh. Some collusions back in the 2016 elections. How about that? Just that whole thing that the Robert Muellers and stuff was all about. The collusions. It looks like there was a whole bunch of that going on. And maybe that's part of the reason why Steve Bannon thinks he might go to prison. Just one of the many reasons that he might. But look, I know it hurts your feelings to think that Donald F. and Trump's gay, you know, but you know, those billionaires, they do weird things together, you know. They do. It's a club, and they do initiations and stuff like that too, you know. But I think he might actually really be gay, y'all. Really, I mean, the YMCA, you know, you've seen his dance, you know, the double-handed shaky that he does right there, and just double fisting. And you seen what he did to that microphone and stuff. You know, he's had practice doing that stuff. So I think he's in the closet. I really think he is there, Team Taco. I think he is, like a lot of y'all are. Like y'all are the ones that crash all the Grindr servers all the time and stuff. The gay people out there, the ones that are out the closet, you know what they don't do? Crash Grindr servers. They don't. But y'all get so busy with it, looking for that pole-to-pole and pole-to-hole action, you crash up the Grindr servers, looking for the hookups in the bathroom stalls. But anyway, what I was saying, though, is I know that you don't like hearing that stuff, that Donald Trump was honking on the bobo. But look, I decided, you know, that Michelle Obama, she was wrong about something whenever she said, whenever they go low, we go high. I ain't never felt that way. I've always did it this way. When they go low, I use my knee to drive their nose bone up into their brain bucket. That's what I do. So anyway, I never did agree with that. And I figured, you know, let's fight some fire with some fire. Since y'all like to say, if you can say that the Haitians are eating people's dogs and cats, then I can say that Donald F. and Trump was honking on Bill Clinton's bobo. I can do it. If y'all can do it, we can do it. You know, if you can say that Michelle Obama is actually a man named Michael, then I can say that Donald F. and Trump was honking on Ghislaine's horse's bobo. We can do that. We can just spread all that stuff around just like y'all do, because fair is fair, right? Let's play the same game together. But anyway, look, Team Taco, I just want to let you know there that yeah, you're being played again. You're being conned. And don't forget, Donald F. and Trump did put more than 1,000 FBI agents to get to work there to try to scrub his name out them files. So if anything does happen, it's going to be some sanitized version. We're not going to see all of it. He's still going to try to hide it all up. But that's exactly what you need. That's exactly what Team Taco needs. The people that are still left on that Trump train with a bunch of, pedophile Christian nationalists and Nazis. That's exactly what you need is smoke and mirrors to protect your cell phone, right? Right, because that's how the whole cult operation works. But also, yes, you are Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon's butt baby. That's what MAGA is, and it's what MAGA has always been. Anyway, y'all, I hate to tell you that. You've been played on. You're being played again and again and again. And this ain't nothing but more smoke and mirrors on you. And trying to put it on the rest of everybody else, we ain't buying it at all. All right? Inmate Trump.